Right, lads, so this is a good one today, which I think will help a few people out. And firstly, thank you for watching. Let's get into it. So, if you're at a point where you've just lost all motivation, or you've fallen out of shape, or just generally not feeling the best, here's what I would do. Just want to say beforehand, though, that this is not abnormal. It can happen. I can recall when it's happened to me a couple of times, and I would consider myself quite an ambitious and motivated person. So, it literally can happen to anyone. So, do not be belittling yourself for it. So, this is absolutely number one. Might sound simple, but it's extremely important. I would sit down and make a training program for yourself. Would highly recommend hiring a coach for this, but still, even if you wanted to look it up from YouTube, for example, make something that you have scheduled days for and that you can stick to long term. The reason why that's number one is because if you do prioritize that, your gym work, everything else literally gets better as a result of that, as a domino effect. So just do not underestimate it. Once you have a couple of weeks of momentum and you're consistently showing up for yourself, that's where everything starts. And just a side note, make sure you're actually tracking your sessions, guys, and progressively overloading each week, because otherwise you're not really going to be seeing the results. But as I said, the main thing is that you keep showing up and everything else will follow. Once you have that unlocked, just fucking stop scrolling, man. I know you're doing it. I've been there again many times. Happens to anyone. It's easy to get caught in that trap of scrolling TikTok, Instagram Reels, but trust me, it is destructive and it's a gateway to comparison. And as a byproduct of not scrolling as much, you won't even notice this happening, but your sleep will improve, your circadian rhythm will kind of return to normal as well. But most of all, your mental health will just be way better. Just trust me on that one, and I don't need to speak too much on sleep, but of course it is massively fundamental. 7+ hours per night, same bedtime each night if possible. And that's crucial. I just don't want to speak too much about it because you've probably heard it a million times. This one is huge, okay? How you wake up in the morning. Do not just roll over, and so many guys do this. Again, I've been there, right? I'm talking from a place of empathy as well, but don't just roll over straight away onto your screen, fucking up your circadian rhythm, okay? Which is actually important. Try and actually avoid a phone or laptop for minimum 30 minutes and actually clean yourself up, feed yourself, go for a walk if possible. Way better way to start your day, and of course, make your bed. That is another simple tip, I suppose you could say, right? But literally, starting your day correctly, people underestimate that, I think, massively. And I think it's easy to get out of the routine cycle of waking up with purpose. And before you know it, it's subconscious and you're waking up with little direction, and an hour or two into your day, you're just not feeling very good. And it's possibly because of how you're waking up. So actually get up when you wake up within 2 or 3 minutes and don't just stay in bed. And also try and avoid caffeine for the first hour of you being up, trust me. Now this next point is short and sweet because again, it's something you probably hear a lot on socials, but it is crucial. Do not continue the way you're eating if you do not like the way you are feeling internally. Getting a coach for this again will be kind of easier for you because the thinking will be taken out of it, I guess. But the main things are to focus on whole foods, 80% minimum if possible, high protein, high water. You will just feel better within probably even a week. Now, walk more, but walk more like this. Listen to more upbeat music, lads. Stop walking listening to sad music or thought-provoking music to the point where you're just feeling depressive thoughts. Okay, I've been there. Not many people actually speak about this, right? But the music you listen to is genuinely important. Try and make it a bit more upbeat and listen to podcasts about a topic that you're interested in or passionate about, because knowledge is power, and whatever you're interested in, you want to become better at it and just know more. By doing all of these things, you'll enjoy your company more, but it will also lead to a lot more productivity. And for me, and I think for most males or even females, but mainly males because this is who the video is aimed at, you will just be happier, man. Honestly, the more productive you are, the more happy you are, in my experience. Next, I want you to think about how you can spend time with more people who add value to your life, or you just enjoy their company. It can be something community based, like for example, paddle. There's a paddle club, 15-20 minute drive from where I am, for example, in Cork, or a running club. There's fucking loads of them about. It's very easy to just sign up to one of these things on Instagram or something. And even though it's very uncomfortable, I'm an introvert myself, trust me, I know it's out of your comfort zone, but on the other side of that is only something positive and new connections. And if you are doing something like that, which involves sport, for example, I play soccer myself every Saturday for 90 minutes with a bunch of Italian lads, sound lads, and I'll tell you this, it's probably the only thing, because I don't really think this applies in the gym necessarily, it's the only time in the week where I literally do not think about anything else other than what I'm doing. I think it's really, really good and beneficial for your own head. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to mention, and do like and subscribe if you are still here, I massively appreciate it, but that's meeting up with 1 or 2 buddies a week where you're actually sitting down and just chatting. If you can't think of anyone, fair enough. Again, I've been there a few years ago where I felt like I didn't have many people, right? And it is just a case of patience and trying to get yourself out there more. But if you generally can't think of anyone, a family member, man, if you can, you know, and this doesn't have to be going out for drinks. That's not what I'm speaking about at all. I'm talking about a little spin somewhere or going for a coffee where you can just vent and just chat about life, and you just feel way better after. I'm grateful to be able to do this myself. I have one friend in particular who we religiously meet up once per week, just go for a bit of food or a spin somewhere, whatever, and we just chat about how our weeks are going. And to be honest, I don't think enough men do that. So maybe I should have included this at the beginning, who knows. A nice bonus point. Anyway, boys, much love. And I was not reading off the laptop, I swear. Nah, I did, because it makes it more effective and it's more rolling off the tongue and doesn't drag out the video. But look, YouTube, I will be back next week, every week, forever, hopefully. See you next time.